Mardi Gras day, amongst the sea of people, confetti and balloons and beads falling from the sky, fall out of random colors thrown out of the hands of revelers from balconies. None other than Sarah McCoy and Alyssa appear, like as if the sea was parted.
I mean, we definitely went from like 3 people at the bar, like, hey man, you're pretty good. You know that song? What's it called? What is it called? The Piano Man? Watching VH1, and they were of the top 3 female vocalists. It was Bessie Smith, and she nailed it. Oh God, I get goosebumps thinking about Bessie Smith. Damn. And then of course there comes Tom Waits. You know, once you discover who Tom Waits is, and he didn't happen until my 20s. God, and like that was a cool experience. But once I figured out who that guy was, I was like, oh yeah, I can do all these things, and I kind of like the way that this feels. And then I just kind of popped out me. Like, I felt my way through different vocal patterns, but I haven't reached a point in my career currently where I'm actually playing in a consistent form. So it's all of those things. I actually enjoy the fact that it can be so ambiguous, because it's exciting to stay that way. And I think that in the long run, to look back at a career that took so many different forms and embodied so many different emotions or styles, I think I'll be okay with that. You know, instead of being like, I was rock and roll once upon a time.
I feel like me and Sarah really relate to each other on wanting to take the music to kind of like just stretch it and just take it to different realms, and take things that have existed in the past, like, you know, we love blues and, you know, old rock and roll and a lot of New Orleans music and classical music, really a melange of different sounds and styles, but just kind of like how they were all gonna boil down together, how we were gonna make something unique. And I felt like we both really were on the same page with wanting to experiment and wanting to create a spectacle.
It's like, what the shit are you? And it's like, okay, well, maybe we should actually kind of give you a sense of who we are as well, which, you know, is the hint of madness. Definitely, you know, so like little antics and stuff like that to engage with people, to make eye contact with people. And it's like, it's music plus you kind of almost get to touch a little idea of who we are actually as people.
That is something that we are still discovering, still learning how to incorporate into our performance, given all these different spaces, and how to bring out that side of ourselves.
Bourbon Street, they want to hear dad blues and Leonard Skinner and all that. Frenchmen, it's what we want to play. Original, historical music, swing, anything.
There's like definitely a New Orleans repertoire that I have a lot of respect for, and I'm super inspired by. But I feel like as a musician, and I think as a vision for the Oopsie Daisies, I strive to see where we could take that tradition and how we could recreate traditions together as a transplant, as someone who has found refuge in New Orleans. How you know, the old and the young, the silver and gold are melting together to form its own precious metal. And I feel like that synthesis is something really beautiful that is happening right now, and I really are trying to focus on that combination, because I feel like there's a promising future for those two worlds merging together.
I'll always love playing on Frenchmen Street, and an opportunity to play in New Orleans is like an opportunity to party at home. Yeah. But there is a thing about the tourism, which is good, because it's like I have fans in places I don't even know, right? So that's awesome. But you get a lot of this bro dude action.
When people see somewhere where it's so alive because of the locals in this town, and they want to make money off of it, start buying stuff and putting like a big hot dogs thing, like
you know, bachelorette parties, like tromping around. Like you see them come in and you're like, this is, like, at least they're discovering my music. But a lot of times with American music, it's in a bar setting. People go to bars to discover music. And the real reason you're going to a bar generally isn't, like, primo is always getting your drink first. It's not necessarily the music. So I feel like, you know, here you experience such a high volume of people really just like, and that's the beauty of New Orleans. I'm not trying to touch that, but it is the difference, because I find that I'm becoming background music more often in America than I was so far in France. And I'm not any less grateful for that. You know, like, it's still been really fun, and we still keep it real. It's like, again, it's playing a party at home, you know, basically, for everyone all the time. For everyone all the time. And sometimes it's hard because you're like, God, like, something really phenomenal is happening here. But when it really counts, like with the whole band, all of us together, and it's happening way more and way more, is that all of a sudden, like, we can tell there are moments where we're all feeling it together. And it's almost like a spirit. It is. It's not almost. It is a spiritual experience. Of all the places I've thrown my thumb to, caught a ride, took a bus, whatever, this is the only place that ever felt like home.